Since December of 2023, I got into the habit of making video diaries, and I've come to realize that this is something that I really enjoy doing because I find that it's a good way for me to reflect back on life, and I've even gotten to a point of using them as a form of self-motivation. Now, I started my YouTube channel not too long ago, and I've kind of been in this space of wanting to explore and try different things. So I thought to try this series where I make video diaries, just sharing bits about my life and things that I've learned. So I guess here goes my first entry. Taking it back again to December of last year, I got to a point of realizing that I was a person who rarely took action, and that majority of the time I would always think about things that I wanted to do and it would just stop there as a thought. But I got to a point where I didn't want to live with regret, so I decided to challenge myself to pursue some of these things. And one of those things was actually starting a YouTube channel, which I've done, and I'm very proud of myself for that. And as I mentioned in my last vlog, I recently finished uni. And one of the reasons why I was so excited to finish was because I knew that I'd have a lot of time on my hands, and that meant I could pursue some of these things. So I honestly was very excited once I finished, and I'd even made a plan of the things that I would do and the steps that I'd take. But for some reason last week, I kind of felt very stagnant and kind of stuck. It just felt like nothing was happening, and this was very disappointing because it felt like the excitement I had been building up just kind of went away because of the lack of action I was feeling throughout the entire week. I kind of had to force myself to take a step back and kind of assess why I was feeling the way I was feeling, and to try and discover the root cause. And I realized that my lack of patience was what was getting in the way. One thing I've come to realize about myself is that I'm not the most patient person. I typically tend to do this thing where if I start something or do something, I usually expect instant results, and I find that if I don't get them, I easily feel discouraged and I want to give up. And to be honest, if it wasn't for having very supportive friends and family, I feel like I would have given up on a lot of things by now. And this is something that I'm still trying to work on, and I know it's going to take me a while to get a hang of it, but I just came to the realization that my lack of patience does get in the way of a lot of things, and I've had to remind myself that I need to learn to practice a lot more patience. Otherwise I could be easily giving up or letting go of things that probably have a lot of potential. And I've had to come to terms with the fact that there won't always be instant results, but sometimes it's going to be a journey that's going to take time. And another thing that I realized alongside my lack of patience was that I wasn't actually taking accountability of my own lack of action. I find that so often I'll expect certain results, but sometimes I kind of have to think if I'm putting enough effort to achieve those results. And one thing I realized was that I wasn't putting the effort that was required for me to see my desired results. So if I give the example of YouTube again, I initially told myself that I was going to be very consistent in order for me to see the results that I wanted to see, but I haven't been as consistent as I want to be. So therefore I feel like I shouldn't necessarily be disappointed by the results that I currently have. It's something that's very difficult to accept, but I knew that I needed to be very realistic with myself. So yeah, those are just some of the things that I learned and had to come to terms with. So I just wanted to give a reminder, not only to myself, but to anyone who can relate to what I've just shared, to just try to practice patience. I know it's definitely easier said than done, but I know it is doable. And I just wanted to give you guys a verse from Galatians 6, and it's verse 9, which says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." So I guess this is your sign to just be patient, keep working hard, and not give up. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I will be back again with another entry. But until then, take care.